Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the 12 Days of Holiday Self-Care. Thank you so much for joining us. We are on day 11 of our holiday series. My name is Susan Watson, and I'm a dietitian and the clinical director of A Little Nutrition. Today, we're going to be focusing on the power of mindset shift and thinking about letting go of what we can't control and channeling our energies towards what matters. So, this time of year, there's a lot of things that come up that maybe our expectations are not being met. Things come up and we get some disappointment, and it can really cause a lot of stress and uncomfortable feelings. But today, I'd like to talk about how we can focus on thinking about the things that we can control and shifting our energy and our mindset towards, the things that we can control. And this will really help with those disappointments of maybe being let down around those things that we really can't control. So those holiday expectations around food or social events can be disheartening at times. And if we try to meet every demand or try to live up to every expectation that is placed on us, it can feel overwhelming. However, focusing on what we can control, I think, can help us bring more joy, connection, and even some calm to this busy season. So, today we're going to explore ways to practice gratitude. Think about rejecting maybe that guilt or shame that we might have. Thinking about respecting our body signals and leaning more in towards nurturing meaningful connections. So, let us dive in. So, let's start off with thinking about why we might feel overwhelmed. The holidays often pull us in many different directions, leaving us feeling stretched, very maybe exhausted, high expectations of things that could be either self-imposed or internal. Expectations can drain our energy, steal that joy from those moments that are meant to be cherished. We might have memories that we're trying to create, or maybe we're trying to make the season special or a special event for a loved one. And maybe we're also missing someone this time of year. So, all of these things we don't really have control over. I think we do, but maybe when things don't pan out the way we want, we get this sense of loss of control, and that can feel really overwhelming. So, what we want to look at is shifting that a little bit. The good news is that you don't have to do it all yourself. You don't have to put these expectations on yourself. And by letting go of what's beyond your control, you can create space for more joy, connection, and peace. So, how do we take back control? That's the big question. So, I have 4 ways that we can talk about ways we can reclaim our energy that might be helpful. So, the first one is practicing gratitude. So, instead of focusing on what's missing, let's maybe notice what's meaningful. And maybe after a meal or a gathering, you can reflect on, what brought me joy? Was it the taste of the food or the company or a memory that it sparked? And some days you might find deep gratitude, and other days it may be just in something small. Both are good enough. So here's the tip. Gratitude isn't about perfection. It's about appreciating the beauty in the moment, however it may look. Number 2, let go of guilt or shame. So we may experience a feeling of guilt in many different areas of our life, but feeling guilty around eating or shame around eating, this is something I hear about a lot from many of our clients, and that people feel especially more so this time of year. So we have to remember that food is part of culture, connection, and tradition. It's not something to feel guilty about. It's something to savor. It's something to, nourish our body with. So if guilt or shame creeps in, remind yourself that food is meant to be enjoyed. It's part of how we connect and celebrate together. So we can reframe this idea by saying, the meaning behind the moment matters more than what's on your plate. Number 3, respect your body's needs. The holiday can leave us overstimulated, tired, or even disconnected from ourselves. And your body signals, whether it's hunger or fullness, fatigue or stress, are all invitations to care for yourself. You want to ask yourself throughout the day, am I full or satisfied? Do I need rest or hydration or a moment of stillness? Do I need to go be by myself for a bit? These are check-ins, and they're all part of acts of self-compassion. Responding to them can help you feel grounded and cared for. So, yeah, try to make sure you're checking in with yourself. Number 4, prioritize meaningful connections. So, the heart of the holidays lie in connection, not in the quality of our events attended or the traditions followed. Focusing on relationships can uplift and energize you. So, things you can do like opt for a smaller gathering or one-on-one time with loved ones who matter the most. If in-person interactions fail too much or you have too many on the go, send a thoughtful message or schedule a virtual check-in. So, just as a reminder, you don't have to say yes to every invite that you get. Prioritize what feels right for you. So, those are kind of 4 areas that you can hone in on and think about things that you can do to take back control. And I'd like to dive into some examples in the holiday season of where we can do some letting go. So, first of all, decorating the house. So, the stress, the pressure, to make your home look like a holiday catalog with elaborate decorations inside and out. Some people spend hours untangling lights trying to outdo last year's display. And this would be another area that you can think about letting go, and maybe simplify your decorations to what feels meaningful to you and your family. Maybe it's just a tree or a wreath or a few cozy touches around the house. Ultimately, you'll spend less time decorating and more time enjoying the season. Hosting the perfect gathering room meal. This can be a big stressor. You might believe that you have to clean your house from top to bottom, plan an elaborate menu, and keep the guests entertained the entire time. Wow, that could be really stressful. So, if we think about letting go, we can focus on the essentials, a tidy main space, simple food options, and time to connect with your guests. If you're not making time to connect your guests and you're just, putting on an event, like you're missing out. So make sure you build in some time to connect. A messy corner or simple appetizers won't ruin the gathering. And, the outcome here is that you're going to feel more relaxed and that your guests will appreciate your company, not your spotless house. And I'll just tell you, this was a really hard one for me to learn over the years, but it's been so nice to acknowledge that, or even lean into letting go of this a little bit more. I think another aspect would be like even just allowing others to bring some dishes to the meal instead of having to do it all. Holiday stress, travel stress. So this stress, you might be juggling travel plans with the expectations of multiple family visits in a short period of time. And I remember I used to fly home for the holidays, and I'd almost need a whole week when I came back from visiting my family on the West Coast because of the holiday stress just travel had. So, you're battling traffic or crowded airports or, flights being canceled or delayed. So, some things you can do to let go is acknowledge that you can't be everywhere at one time. Decide which visits feel most meaningful or choose to stay at home and connect virtually. When I used to travel for holidays, I would kind of map out in advance who I plan to visit and make those connections in advance and realize that I couldn't visit everybody and try to space it out over the year versus cramming everything at Christmas. And, the outcome for this is that I felt more grounded and less exhausted. And I also think that the quality of the visits were a little bit better when I didn't try to do visiting everybody for like a small period of time. Comparing yourself to others. This can be a big thing any time of year, but you might be online and you'll see someone's perfect holiday photos or beautifully wrapped gifts on social media, and it might make you feel like you're falling short. And the reality here is like if you're comparing yourself and you're not doing the same thing, of course you're going to feel that you're falling short. So comparison, we just want to maybe not compare ourselves, but when it comes to letting go, remind yourself that social media is a highlight reel, not reality. Focus on what makes your holiday meaningful instead of measuring against others. Just try not to compare. You'll spend less time stressing and more time enjoying your own unique traditions over the season. Baking everything from scratch. And sometimes people have the time and energy to do it and really enjoy it. But if you feel that you have to, it can be very stressful. So if you feel like you must bake a variety of cookies and pies and holiday treats for your gatherings, this can take a lot of time and sometimes even build up a little bit of resentment for all the work that you do. So a way to maybe let go is pick one or two treats that you love to bake and supplement with store-bought options. Focus on the joy of the process rather than the quantity. So you might not make a whole bunch, but maybe you made 1 dozen and focus on that quality. So when we focus on letting go of this, you'll still be able to enjoy baking without feeling overwhelmed. And most people don't really mind the store-bought extras either. Something we also may feel pressure to do is shopping for everybody. So that stress that you feel obligated to buy gifts for extended family, coworkers, neighbors, teachers, and everyone in between can be stretching your budget and time. So an area that we can think about letting go is focusing on a smaller group of meaningful recipients. Consider group gifts or homemade treats, or even verbal acknowledgments instead of purchasing individual items. So not only will you save time and money, but you'll also be able to still show gratitude and thoughtfulness. Saying yes to every tradition. So this could be very stressful and a lot of a commitment placed on us. So you're trying to continue every family tradition, even ones that no longer fit your schedule or bring you joy because of that guilt or obligation. This might be a time to consider letting go and evaluate which traditions are meaningful and which ones you should let go of the rest. Start new ones that might align with your current values and needs. And the outcome here is that you'll feel more in control of how you celebrate and make the season more enjoyable and less exhausting. And lastly here, number 10, this expectation, feeling like you need to be happy all the time. And I put a photo in here of just people that look way too happy. So you may feel a pressure to stay cheerful or festive, even if you're struggling with stress or grief or other emotions during the holidays. And I'm just going to give you permission to be transparent and feel how you're feeling. I use a phrase a lot of the times. It's like, feel your feels. A way you can let go is allow yourself to feel your emotions without judgment. So, just allow yourself. I give myself permission to feel what I'm feeling without judgment. And it's okay to have moments of sadness, frustration, or exhaustion this time of year. When we allow ourselves to experience our emotions without judgment, and by letting go of the idea of needing to fake it, you'll feel more authentic and find the moments of the holiday more genuine. And hopefully that will spark a little bit more inner joy. So to wrap up here, letting go of these common stressors can help you feel focused on what truly matters, and that's connection, joy, and being present for the moments that make the holiday special. To wrap up, I'm just going to ask you a question, and I'd love to maybe have you hit reply to any of the emails or comment and ask yourself, what am I going to let go of this year? And how am I going to show myself a little bit more kindness and compassion and free up some expectations that I'm putting on myself. So yeah, my question is, what are you going to let go of this year? So thank you very much, and we'll see you at our next session.